Welcome to Lit Vibes Only, where we lit the shit out of books we love and hate. I'm Amanda, the insightful thrill seeker and historical fiction nerd.
And I'm Kelsey, the unhinged, diehard romantic and fantasy reader. Welcome to our anniversary episode.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
this is
think of
like
it
the
that way.
actual one.
This is the actual anniversary episode.
Yeah.
You're right. You're so right. Welcome.
Before we get too far into it, if you've been here the entire year and you haven't reviewed
Oh
our
my God.
podcast, what the real deal? Seriously.
I like how you just censored yourself there. We don't want to attack the very people who we want to comment on.
Well, we do want to get their attention, though.
We do. Yes, you're right. That was definitely
So go review, rate, and review so that we can be seen by other people who also would love to listen to our podcast. So we need your help in that way. Also, continue to find us on social media. We're on TikTok and YouTube at Lit Vibes Only Podcast. TikTok, we're quite... What is the word, Amanda?
Active?
Thank you. Sometimes words just escape me. We're quite active on TikTok especially. And then YouTube has our full-length episodes. So if you want to see the random facial expressions that Amanda and I make or Benito sometimes,
Benito.
come over to YouTube. And finally, we're also on Instagram.
We sure are.
The word Instagram at Lit Vibes Only _podcast. So you can find us there as well.
Yay. So yeah, like, comment, follow, subscribe, all of the things if you're not already. We do have so much fun, particularly on TikTok. I'm really enjoying the book talk community we're building over there. We're still struggling with Bookstagram. It is, it's a
we
hard.
Just aren't the aesthetic kind of gals. We're just like, TikTok is definitely our vibe of like,
weird,
let's just put up a video. Like, you don't have to have anything on. Like,
I feel like book talkers are just more accepting of just whatever you put out there and are willing to engage with it. And I feel like Bookstagram, it's just more particular, you know, and we just can't get folks to engage. We just can't get folks to comment or I mean, sometimes we'll get some likes, but it's tough out there. So if anybody has any secrets or hacks into how to break into Bookstagram, please let us know, because we've been at like 236 followers for months and months and months. And we continue to gain new followers on a regular basis on TikTok. And I think we're at like 1350 right now, which is great. Yeah. So yeah, if folks
look right now
are like, are you looking at the
we have a comment? Oh my God.
Oh, that's exciting. On Instagram?
We have 235 followers.
235. Yeah. So a huge difference between our follower count for Instagram versus TikTok.
And the people that I'm on Instagram, and this was one of our recent posts about our Q&A. Like, our friends message us on here.
Yeah,
like, our friends are commenting. Your brother commented and said, congrats. Now that it's been a year, what has been your favorite part of podcasting? So yeah.
Oh, great. Well, we can definitely talk about that today. Yeah. But yeah, usually Instagram, the only people who respond are people who actually know us in real life and are like, let's comment, which we very much appreciate.
Instagram is for friends and families, apparently.
apparently. But yeah, we have a blast on TikTok, and that has been much more successful for us this year. And we're excited to keep growing that community on that platform. And yeah, we're just going to talk a lot about what this past year has been like for us in a variety of ways. But before we get into our chat, we're going to talk about the books that we're reading as always.
Yes.
I'm happy to start. Or Kelsey, if you want, you've already got your book like up and ready to go. So why don't you go
I'm getting
first?
This like weird energy right now. I'm like, oh my God.
It's anniversary energy. You're just like so wired and so excited that we've done the thing.
So I am reading Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider.
Okay.
I was like, what is
wait
this?
For it.
Hold on. So I am enjoying it so far, but I'm almost done.
Okay.
But I will say something about the romance. I'm not buying it.
Oh.
So I'm curious how this will go.
Like, it's like not a believable love story, or you just don't like the characters, or
I can't tell.
Okay.
Like, it's it just hasn't progressed in a way that would seem like they have deep feelings for each other, but like, I guess they do.
Like
It's
it's
like
rushed.
maybe not rushed, but I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know.
All right. That's fair.
I
Sometimes it's hard to
don't
just
know.
sometimes it's just a feeling and we can't really articulate
Yep.
it beyond that. That's
Yep.
fair. Well, that kind of ties into my book just because it's a romance. I've just started it and it's actually going to be featured on the
Ooh.
podcast in October.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun.
Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is obviously a
Oh,
Kelsey
yes.
pick for me. And I realized I was thinking about it. This will be my third romance that Kelsey's had me read because there was Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, Say You'll
Okay.
Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and so this will be the
Well,
third one because all the rest have been romantasy.
yeah, I
Well, I
guess.
guess no, I take it back. You also had me read The Truth According to Ember, so this will be
Oh,
my
yeah.
fourth one. How could I have forgotten that one?
Ugh,
And
I
then I
need to read the next
think
book.
I know it's something war song or what is
Love
it?
the
Love is a war
War
song.
Song.
Love is a war song, I
Okay.
think. By Dana Canava. But yeah, so I'm curious because I know Emily Henry, along with Abby Jimenez, is one of
Super popular.
the big names in contemporary romance. And
Yes.
so I'm curious. And I did actually end up liking Say You'll Remember Me. And
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey seems to think that I will like this one.
I think
So,
you'll like aspects of this one for sure.
okay. Do you think this will be a lit it or quit it for me? Like, what's your prediction?
I'm just going to say lit it because I'll be optimistic.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. Because I realized this will be our next episode, Great Big Beautiful Life, because it'll be the first
After,
episode
oh,
for
yeah,
October. Yeah. So tune in next week
for
to
that
see
episode.
for that episode and to see if Kelsey's optimistic prediction ring true.
Yay.
But as Kelsey said, we are here today to just take a moment to reflect on this past year of podcasting
Yeah.
and what it meant to us and what, we're thinking
Mm-hmm.
moving forward
Mm-hmm.
and just
Mm-hmm.
highlighting some special moments because this for us, I don't know how you all feel listeners, but for us as the people who have brought this podcast into being, it was a labor of love and it's really cool to just go back and see all that we've
Absolutely.
accomplished. And even
Yeah.
just like scrolling through our episodes and at this point at the time of recording, we currently have 50 episodes up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and that's kind of crazy.
Well, but that doesn't even include our bonus episodes that we
That's
sprinkled
true.
through.
So I
So
think we might be at
it's
like 52, yeah.
50. I feel like we've done like 3 because remember there was a movie one.
Right.
It ends
And
with us.
right.
And then we've done 2
But we've
of the
numbered those though. So they would count in the only one
ACOTAR
that
ones.
yeah, I did
Oh,
number
did
those.
you?
Yeah. So the
Oh,
only ones
okay.
that are not numbered are our intro episodes. So Lit Vibes 101, the very first episode we dropped,
Oh,
and then it
yeah.
ends with us. So I think it's 52.
That's wild.
It's wild. And
That's
like a
like
lot of
50 hours of us talking.
more than that, because some of our episodes are obviously
Yeah,
more than an hour.
at
And
least.
yeah, so a lot of work has gone into
Oh
this
my
episode,
gosh.
into this podcast,
Yes.
and it's really cool to take a moment to just sit back and both celebrate and reflect and think about where we want to go from here.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of sketched out a couple of things that we want to touch on. I'm sure we'll probably also randomly go off on tangents,
Oh, yeah.
but I think we maybe wanted to start with what some of our favorite lit it or quit it books were
Oh, yeah.
that we got into for sure.
Well,
Hmm.
some of my favorite Lit It or Quit It books are not your favorite Lit It or Quit It books.
Yep. Hmm.
The first one I put on here was Bride by Allie Hazelwood. Let me tell you all,
Oh my God.
I am in my Allie Hazelwood era. Like I
It's
am
unfortunate for me.
loving her books. I've read Bride, Deep End, The Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, and then I just finished the third one in that series, Love something. I don't
Okay.
remember what it was called.
I'm sure it has
But
another STEM word in there.
yes. And love. Oh, The Love Hypothesis.
No, you already
Did I
said that
say
one.
that? Dang
Yeah,
it.
you did. You said love
was like, I
hypothesis and
got
love
it.
theoretically, and then you were thinking of the third one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that those were a series. I thought that the love hypothesis was a standalone, but
like they're standalone, but like, yeah. How do you explain that?
is it
Yeah.
in the same world? Are there carryover characters or something?
I don't think there's carryover characters, but it's the same. I don't know. don't know how to describe that because Abby Jimenez has this too. And some characters do cross over, but I don't remember characters crossing over.
So like what makes it a series then? Now I'm
I don't
curious. Like how do
know.
you have there has to be
Love
something that's connecting them.
hypothesis. Let me
Is it
look real
just
quick.
that they're all like women in STEM? Because I know that's a thing for her.
But maybe I'm wrong. Is this number one of all of them? I don't know. Love hypothesis, love theoretically. Okay, Love on the Brain. That was the one I just finished.
And
okay.
it is a series?
Love on the Brain.
Is that
I
what it
don't
says?
know.
Oh, okay.
It
Kelsey's
doesn't.
just making up information over here, so please disregard listeners if you're.
It just has the same
like vibe. I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, but
it has the same like covers. So like that's Love hypothesis, right?
Okay.
And then it has the same. Then Love theoretically. It's not the same covers, but it's
There's
the same style. So that's what made me think it was, a series, but it does not say that in here.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I don't think it's a series.
So. But time of her authorship, it was all the same time frame.
Okay. Great. Well, other people's joy makes me happy. And although I cannot say that I have enjoyed Ali Hazelwood, I'm glad that you are. And granted, you did start me off with Bride. I've only read one. That was a little bit outside of her wheelhouse. Yes. So maybe I would like something more standard, like The Love Hypothesis. I am open to, I think you're going to have me read it. Actually, you did mention that at some point.
I think The Love Hypothesis was
yeah.
One I want you to.
I will give her another go, but I hate it. I loved hating Bride. Yes. And I really enjoyed that episode because I personally
it was fun.
Really like episodes where we get really heated. I find them wildly entertaining.
Yes.
And I hope they're also entertaining for you listeners. But
yes, we hope
so. One of the ones that I put on this list for favorites was Divine Rivals. And it was because
you loved
hated that book
immensely.
I just really enjoyed just like going to town on that book and, laying it all out there. And I thought it made for a very fun episode.
Yeah.
So especially again,
well, I loved it.
Yeah. Opposite sides. That's like, I mean, that is the premise of this podcast, right?
That's the whole point of the podcast.
Yes, loving and hating books and being on the opposite sides of the spectrum. So while I do very much enjoy when we're on the same page and can do a deeper dive into books, I also love when we are very much not seeing eye to eye. Yeah, it's great. Great.
Both of them are great. I think both aspects are great. It's fun.
Yeah.
What's your next favorite, Amanda?
I mean, technically, I just went because I said Divine Rivals.
Oh my God.
I guess one that I loved and that Kelsey also loved, and it's just a book that I have loved for a long time. I just had loved a lot, is Kindred by Octavia Butler. We read that in February for one of our Lit It or Quit It episodes, and I thought we had a really great discussion about it. I was excited to share this book with you because I thought you would enjoy it, and you did. And you also brought up some criticisms of it that I thought were valid and, gave me a new lens through which to look at the book.
Yeah.
But that one I really very much enjoyed. And I think if I'm remembering correctly, at the time anyway, that was the first Octavia Butler book you had read because you hadn't read Parable of the Sower or anything yet.
Yeah. I still haven't. That's totally on my TBR. And maybe it'll be a fall read.
Okay.
Creepy vibes.
To be perfectly honest, I don't think you're going to like it. I don't. But it is a good book and I like it, but I don't think it's going to be a Kelsey book. So we shall see.
Is it one where if I'm in a certain mood, I will like it?
Maybe. You might surprise me. You often do. But I don't think I think it's maybe will be like a soft quit it for you. So when you do read it, let me know because I'm super curious. Yeah.
And I'll text you all about it because
of course.
When we do our Lit It or Quit It episodes, we don't really text each other because we're trying to save it for the podcast. But in this instance, we're not doing it on the podcast. So I'll let you know.
Great. Can't wait. The next one you have on this list, I'm very excited about.
Yeah. So I did enjoy Verity by Colleen Hoover, of all people. We don't necessarily endorse Colleen Hoover here, but
we do endorse this book.
If they, if annoying author has a good book, like it's a good book.
It's a good book.
And
And the
so,
movie's coming out, and
and the
I'm
movie's
so
coming out.
incredibly psyched. I was just
Yes.
talking about this on our socials recently. I am like over the moon, and it's
I'm
got a
also
solid cast.
so excited. It's Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. It's going
Yeah.
to be so creepy and
I know.
cool. Yeah.
I know.
It's
I
going to be
think the
great.
casting's spot on.
Yeah. Whoever was in charge of that, great job.
Yes. Thank you, casting director. You nailed it.
We are still on opposite sides when it comes to manuscript or letter,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we are. And if you've read the book, you know what we're
Yep.
talking about. And if you
Mhm.
don't know, you could go back and listen to that episode. But I
Yes, you
do
can.
recommend for especially for Verity because it's so twisty. I don't want you to listen to the podcast before you've read the book. I want you to
Totally.
experience the book and
Mhm.
all of its craziness and then listen to it because you don't want
Yeah.
that book spoiled for sure.
And it's a really easy read.
It's
Like
super easy.
I read the physical book and was like zipping through it. It
Yeah.
was
You can't put
easy.
it down. It's so
Mhm.
great. Speaking of books that I couldn't put down, ultimately, it took me a minute. But I think one of my favorite kind of lit it or quit it moments on this podcast, and probably most surprising, like if you had told me this at the beginning of last year that I was going to
Mhm.
really fall in love with this book or
And
books,
world.
I would have been like, you're crazy and please leave. But I have become quite a huge, I don't know if I would say fan, because that just like seems a little too intense, but I
Um,
have thoroughly enjoyed the ACOTAR series. And now I, along with everyone
what?
else, am eagerly awaiting the next book, which is crazy to say. But I truly would not
Comes out
have read
next
that
year.
series if Kelsey hadn't had me do it.
Yeah.
And, our first episode for that is in December. And then we've covered all the other books since then, except for the
Mhm.
novella. We didn't do A Court of Frost and Starlight. But
Yeah, Amanda refused to read that
I
one.
just, it's no, I don't care. I don't care that much about the series. But yeah, I think it's just like the perfect example of why we started this podcast and how it is
Mm.
possible to step outside of your reading ruts or even just like reading bubble,
Yeah. Bubble.
and dip your toe into something new and perhaps find some new loves. And
Mhm.
I for sure did that. And it was something I would never have expected.
She gave me so much shit
I
for
did.
liking ACOTAR
I
before
did.
we
You have no idea.
before we read it. Like, oh my gosh, Amanda.
I know. But okay, but I will say if you wrote this series, or not you, if Sarah J. Maas had written this series and just removed all or most of the smut, it would be even better, in my humble opinion. But I know people are gonna be like,
What?
smut is not for me, y'all, but I do enjoy this story and this world and these characters very
I'm
much.
actually curious how it would read without the smut.
It'd be great. It's stellar fiction. Just 10 out of 10.
Just close the door. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting thought. Probably could do without the smut in ACOTAR, but then
I
Court
could
of
do
Mist
without
and
the
Fury.
smut in A Court of Silver Flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was too much. But anyhow, that was my next one.
Cool. I really loved having you read Fourth Wing.
Oh my.
Was that a quit it for you? I can't remember.
I think that was a soft quit it for me because even though it was kind of
Yeah.
annoying, it read like a movie or
Oh,
and so it was engaging and entertaining in kind of this shallow,
Mhm.
silly way.
And I think that it is going to be
A TV
a TV
series.
show. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's in the baby stages still, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I do wonder if people are writing to create movies.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
And this is one of them. But also another big one is Emily Henry.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't talked about her that much. I did make a video on TikTok about it, and people were very much in alignment with what I was saying, those who responded. But I felt like the first two books I read by Emily Henry were really basic and flat. Like I didn't feel like there was anything that special about them.
Yeah.
It's like just white characters doing white things, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And then like, and also Emily Henry sticks to the theme of like all of her characters are authors or writers or readers in some way. And so
Interesting. Okay.
that,
Gets a little old.
well, it's just that like, yeah, Allie Hazelwood has like the STEM theme, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But that's not just the thing she's doing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like she has a life outside of reading and writing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
she's a scientist.
Yeah.
And then Emily Henry, she's like, I'm an author and here's my author stories. Like it just was, it's so strange to me that she chose the theme for all of her books to be around
Mm.
her
Like,
job.
yeah. Yeah, that's a bit insular for sure.
Yeah.
And that is a choice. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The one that you're having me read, is that
hmm
the case as well?
Oh
Where they're
yeah.
like okay.
But they're journalists in that one.
Okay. But
hmm
basically, okay, they're still writers. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, again, listeners, will be dropping that episode next Monday. So we'll
Yes.
be chatting all things Emily Henry. So be sure
Can't
to
wait.
tune in. Yeah.
The
I don't
last
think I've
one.
Oh, go ahead. I don't think I have any other books on this list because the
Yeah.
other one you put on there, which is the
Yes.
book that I had you read recently, which is The
The
Wedding People.
Wedding People.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I
you
had
did
fun with
like
that.
it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had fun with that.
Yeah.
What did I
Yeah.
put? Didn't I rate it? Soft lit it?
I think you did.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised because it wasn't like oh my gosh. And so since this is like our best books from the Lit It or Quit It, I didn't think it would make the cut, but that makes me
No, I had
happy
fun
'cause
with it.
okay.
Yeah.
Because you also certainly
have
had a fair
fond
number of
memories of it.
criticisms for the book as well.
I don't
But
remember
yeah.
them, Amanda.
Well, I didn't have any, so I'm happy that you also don't remember them. Loved The Wedding People, and if you haven't read it, you should, and then check out our episode for
Definitely check out the
sure.
episode.
But
Mhm.
honestly, I think our Lit It or Quit It episodes are probably my favorite in general out of the different types that we do because one, they
Mhm.
are the reason why we started this podcast.
Absolutely. Yep.
And they are the episodes where we do really get to dive into a specific book and unpack it. Whereas our other episodes, are just recommending things and not necessarily doing a deep dive or,
Mhm.
having a rando chat like we are right now. So, which is also
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, so I guess thinking about the year in review, what are some, I guess, like
Mhm.
standout moments that you really just cherish from our podcasting
Anytime
journey?
that I like knew Amanda was gonna like a book and she did. Like anytime that aligned, I was like, yes.
Mhm. Yes, that makes sense. I guess my spin on that would be anytime I recommended a book and you surprised me and liked it. That
Ah.
was like always a highlight for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be, Kelsey's going to hate it. And you're like, oh my gosh, it was great. Or at least gave it like a soft lit it.
Yeah.
That just made my day.
As
I
a
don't know.
reader, like that's like the best feelings. Like you recommend a book and
And-
then the person likes it.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
a great feeling.
Such a great feeling.
People can really relate to that.
Yes. I think one of the fun things too that I have enjoyed about this year, and specifically with podcasting, is all of the lovely Kelsey-isms that continue to crop up in our episodes. It's something that happened kind of very naturally as we started this
Yes.
journey and quickly
just
became
how
a
I
thing.
talk.
It's just how you talk. And I remember in the very first episode when you were talking about how one of the reasons why you were excited about doing a podcast is like, you wanted to work on being able to express yourself better.
Yes.
And like finding the words to say the things you wanted to say.
Yes.
And so it's been funny to watch that. And I guess my one regret from this year is that I didn't do a good job of tracking them in any sort of like document or something so that we could put them out there in the world.
But
if you
t-shirt.
Yes. But if you've been listening to this podcast for the year, you know what they are. And we
Yes.
call them out in the moment. So Kelsey-isms are great.
Yes,
They
most
make me
times.
laugh.
At first, I think we didn't know what to do with them.
We did it.
And then we just embraced them.
It's just part of our brand.
Yep.
Love it.
Going through this year, we definitely like made our personalities more about books.
Yes, for sure.
And we started going to like events throughout the year. We went to a couple at least
Mhm.
of these silent reading nights that are in West Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been on the lookout for new events for readers.
Yeah.
That's been fun to embrace.
I had never been to a silent reading night prior to that.
Yeah.
And it was cool because we did end up connecting with a couple of people, telling them about the podcast, giving out a couple of our
that's right.
stickers, especially the first one that we went to.
Mhm.
So I think moving forward, that's something I definitely love for us to keep doing
Yeah.
because we like did it and then it kind of fell off because it's
Yeah.
hard. We have busy
Oh, yeah.
lives and full schedules. And adding
Evening
one more
events
thing,
for work.
yes,
Like, yeah.
it's rough. And then
Yes.
because we're podcasting on the weekends, it's hard to do podcasting and events as well.
Yeah.
So limited time, but I think getting a couple
Definitely.
more in would be nice if we can swing it.
Maybe like once a quarter or something, do
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Because it was a really great way to just meet other local readers
Yeah.
and also as a way to promote what we're doing too, which is great.
Yeah.
I also kind of speaking of that, this is kind of a little thing, but I actually really did enjoy because this was like when we were first starting out.
Yeah.
Getting our stickers made with our logo made me
That was
feel
fun.
so official. Like the fact that I had a tangible item, some merch that I could give to people that I knew. Obviously, we had this sticker giveaway that got us our first comments and reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So I think that initial kind of momentum was really exciting. And like I said, I think having something that physically represented our podcast for me, it was like, oh my gosh, we're legit. We have stickers.
Yeah.
So I really liked that moment for sure.
Oh, fun.
That was a little bit of a highlight from this year.
Yeah.
And at some point, if we, I think, get enough followers and kind of get enough traction, having other merchandise, you know, whether it's like tote bags or t-shirts,
love to,
would be great. Because we've talked about starting a Patreon at a certain point once we have enough followers. And that could be a thing where like, yeah, there's merch available for folks who have subscribed to our Patreon. So definitely a looking ahead goal there for sure.
The podcasting is not for the lighthearted. Like,
there's a Kelsey-ism. There's a Kelsey-ism. It's not for the light. It's for the faint-hearted. Look at that. Adding it to the list.
Where's your list, Amanda?
The timing of that was impeccable.
That's hilarious. The what? Faint-hearted?
Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted.
That sounds stupid. Faint of heart.
It's also you could say that as well. It's not for the faint of heart. I guess that is it. Faint. I think you can say faint-hearted, or is it just faint of heart?
Amanda-ism.
It's an Amanda-ism where I took a Kelsey-ism and an actual thing and combined it and said faint-hearted. Yeah, you're right. It's not for the faint of heart. We're both wrong. Great. I love it.
But ultimately, I was right.
Ultimately, you did get it right. Yes. I love that. Love that for you.
But because there really aren't a lot of moments where you have like a response from other people that mean you're going in the right direction, right?
Sure.
Like you don't get, what is it called?
Feedback?
Yeah. You don't get positive feedback like a ton because you are growing something and people are just starting to find you. And yeah, it's just not for the faint of heart because you have to keep going, even though you're not getting that positive feedback. And we just keep going. And I have had moments where like, God, is this worth it? I mean, no matter what, it's been fun, right? But we're not getting a lot out of it at the moment.
Yeah. One of my colleagues, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like we've hit our year mark. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. Like, are you guys making money off of this podcast? And I was like, nope. Not yet. We would love to. We'd love to like monetize in some way, but we haven't quite gotten to that point yet.
That's the hope, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a fun side hobby right now.
It's a fun side hobby. But I think to your point though, and this connects to something that I jotted down, is that the moments where I have had friends or even colleagues come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I just listened to today's episode about blah, blah, blah. And I really loved it. And then they give me a book rec or, you know, give me their comment about whatever we were talking about. Those are so incredibly meaningful because as Kelsey was saying, we don't get them often. And when you're building something in what feels like, I don't know, a vacuum, right? It's nice to have these touch points where someone in your world is like, hey, I'm enjoying this. You're on the right track. Continue.
That is helpful.
Yeah.
So keep doing that.
So keep doing it. Yes. Friends and family. And then again, if we don't know you in person and you found this through our socials or through a podcast search engine or something, that's where like the comments on these episodes come in. That's where rating and reviewing comes in. That's where our socials come in. And as we've said a million times, it also helps you to have some say in what we do. Right. And shape this podcast. Like this is not a rigid thing. Like we are open to changing, adapting. And we've done that, I think, over the course of the year. We've changed the way that we start off our episodes. We've, switched up the structure. We're going to be changing up the structure for Lit Rex heading into this next year.
Yeah.
So we're constantly growing and evolving, and you can be a part of that if you let us know what you want.
Yeah. And one last highlight I had for the year was just honestly getting to know you better on a deeper level when it comes to like your reading tastes.
Yeah, same.
Like I'm pretty spot on these days of like I know what you're going to like and dislike. I was wrong about Heartless Hunter. But
I still can't believe you thought I would like that.
Yeah, because it was like anyway.
Go back and listen to that episode if you haven't, y'all.
I feel like I know you as a person even in a deeper way.
Yeah, I would absolutely second that. Because again, we're spending hours obviously producing this content, but also hours like talking about things outside of this and planning. And so we're just in each other's spaces a lot more. Because before this podcast, we'd see each other like, I don't know, maybe once a month, we'd like get together and like catch up maybe once every 2 months. And now we see each other like multiple times a month.
Yes. Even if it's just over the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For like a good chunk of hours. And so, I love that our friendship has like deepened and blossomed even more.
Totally.
That's a great highlight. Love that. I also feel like, shifting from highlights to another aspect, this podcast has like totally changed our reading habits in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think I underestimated how big of an impact having a book podcast like was going to have on my own reading journey. Like I knew I was going to be obviously reading books outside of my normal wheelhouse because of the structure of this podcast, but I didn't think that my tastes were going to change in any significant way. And I also didn't realize the quantity of books was going to increase so greatly. And it's both good and slightly overwhelming sometimes.
Yes, it absolutely is. So it's the end of August right now. So 1 month past like the halfway mark. And my goal this year was to read 50 books and I'm at like 45. And I'm like, I'm going to read way more than that in the last half of this year. And that never would have happened without the podcast. I probably went maybe like, I can't remember. Maybe it was like 30 books last year.
It's like 30 something.
And so.
Yeah, you've already surpassed that by quite a bit.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Same. I had my goal set. So last year I read 55 and as some of you might know, I am not a fan of book goals. I just find them stressful. Like I'm going to read regardless and feeling like I need to attain a certain number it seems unnecessary and makes me dread reading versus enjoy it.
Oh,
so I deliberately underset my goal at 50 because I knew I would hit it. And then I think by July, the beginning of July, I had already surpassed it. I was at like 60 or something. And then I was toying around with the idea of like, well, I guess I should probably shift my book goal. So I think as of today, I have read 76 books and changed my goal to 100. So, which seems very attainable because we still have quite a few months left in the year.
Yeah, it's a while.
And I honestly don't think I've ever read 100 books in a year. I mean, I take that back. When I was younger, probably like when I was a teenager in middle school too, but
you weren't tracking.
I wasn't tracking it, so I have no way to conserve it, count it. But I know for a fact, as an adult, I have never read 100 books in a year. And so between this podcast and my book club, and also just like the books that I want to read, there's a lot of books. But I think the other reason why my reading has increased by so much is since we do now have this community that we're building, we are constantly getting recommendations that are excellent. And so I'm adding even more to my TBR than I did before when I was just getting book recommendations from my small group of like book friends. So that's another reason why I'm just like, oh my gosh, like
skyrocketing.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's been great. And
Same for me, really.
Yeah. And I think part of me is still also kind of in shock that I have, through you, found particular romance and romantasy books that I've enjoyed. And
You
that
enjoyed.
now that and now I'm open to reading other romance and romantic
Mm-hmm.
books that people have recommended. It's still like not my go-to, like that I don't think it
Mm-hmm.
ever will, which is fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that I know that I can read them and enjoy them
Mm-hmm.
is pretty cool.
And the same for me around like historical fiction.
Yeah.
Like I know some of the authors anyway, that you've recommended, like
Mm-hmm.
who is not for me, and
Mm-hmm.
then more of who I could potentially enjoy.
Yeah.
So like get Geraldine Brooks,
Yeah. Not for you.
not for me.
Not for you.
It shouldn't be for anyone really. And then Ariel Lahan, I could
Mm-hmm.
see myself reading another book of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think, and I haven't had you read her yet, but you will be reading her, is Ruta Cepetis, who you've heard me talk about a
Oh,
bunch.
I think
And
yeah.
I've posted a bit on socials about her, actually quite a bit. I think you would really like her. And her books are also super accessible because yes, they're
Mm,
very well researched and like chock full of important details, but they're YA. So,
mm,
they're very kind of
okay.
easy to get into and to
Mm-hmm.
get through. So definitely gonna have you read one of those. And I think my prediction is that you'll really enjoy them. But
We
yeah,
shall
it
see.
it is interesting how yes, this podcast has changed us personally, but it's also changed our reading habits
Yeah. And just like that,
significantly.
I just feel like so much of our personality is now about
Oh,
books.
sure.
And it's like,
Which absolutely. Literally,
uh,
Kelsey and I just bought matching sweatshirts that say
yes.
reading is my favorite sport. So,
Or fall,
like we're very much leaning into the book
Yes,
girly
absolutely.
lifestyle, and I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I'm here for it. I mean, it's funny because like I feel like I've always been one, but I don't think I've kind of embraced it in such a I don't know, a
I mean,
visible way, like
public way.
a
Yeah.
public way.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's been a lot of fun to just like really lean into that and live into that.
yeah.
Absolutely. But I think the last thing we wanted to talk about, which is a significant part of this journey and
Mm-hmm.
was again a huge adjustment for me, maybe less so for Kelsey,
I,
perhaps,
mm.
but is our social media. And I knew
Mm-hmm.
when we started this podcast, like we were going to have to promote it. And
Yeah.
obviously in this day and age, social media is the way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally am not like a huge fan or user of social media. Like I have a small private Instagram account, that I'll
Mm-hmm.
post things to mostly on stories.
Seldomly.
I
Yeah.
rarely post an actual post.
Yeah.
I did not have TikTok before this and swore up
Oh,
and down that I
mhm.
would never have TikTok.
Now you
So
love it.
yeah, I actually do quite enjoy book talk and making videos for our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. I actually still don't spend a lot of time on TikTok. Like I get on there specifically
Mm-hmm.
to make content and to reply to things,
Mm.
but I do not scroll on TikTok.
Yeah. I wish I did that less, to be honest. But also, it's just like sometimes when I need just like a break from everything else going on,
Absolutely.
I sit on TikTok.
Yeah.
And that sometimes is my way of like detaching from what happened for the day. Cause
Yeah.
you all know that we're educators and
Mm-hmm.
our jobs can be really stressful and
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I just need a fucking break. And
Don't we all?
looking at TikTok and enjoying other people's content is
Mm-hmm.
fun and also helps me realize what the trends are out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is also helpful.
Yeah.
But I would say the thing that I didn't struggle with as much as you was the transition, right? Like I had TikTok
Mm-hmm.
and I had a TikTok account before I had this account. And so I
Mm-hmm.
knew how to do the videos and I knew
Mm-hmm.
like it's really interesting because not everybody understands TikTok. When you get on and you see a funny video, like not everybody understands why it's funny. It's really interesting. It's like a whole culture in it of
Mm-hmm.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like send videos to my friends sometimes and they're like, I don't get it. And I was like, wait, what? Like I thought it was just like funny. It's like
Yeah.
blatantly funny. And it's because TikTok has its own culture,
Yeah.
like subset culture of like
Yeah.
how we do content.
Yeah. It's true.
And people are just like, what? Who are on
Mm-hmm.
the outside. And
Yes.
so I knew all of those things before going into this. What I still struggle with is like how to do it consistently. That is so, oh my God, touch and go all the time. And I was like, oh my God, we should do this. Where it was like this, what was it?
It was a content creator who set this goal to do 500 posts in
Like
30
goal.
days.
goal of some kind. I was like, Amanda, we should do some goal. And you're like, yeah, let's be realistic. I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. Because also school is starting in like a week.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
I always forget how much energy that takes, like the beginning of the school year.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is not the time to do that. Maybe
it is not
December
the time.
is the time because you have a partial and then you have like vacation. Like there's I mean, I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, it's just, we have actual jobs, and the fall especially is so tough for us. And unlike Kelsey, I had a big learning curve when it came to figuring out how to produce content on TikTok that was relatable and funny and like worked within the TikTok culture.
Yeah.
But I think what has worked for me is that I literally during the school year, during the normal work week, I like have to set aside time for TikTok content. So it's like come home from work. And like that's the first thing I do. I will have been thinking about a particular video that I want to make or like a sound I found earlier. And then it's like 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to make my TikTok video for the day and then I'll go work out, make dinner, etc. So I literally have time set aside so that we're posting regularly each day. But it's a big lift. And I think people are like, oh my gosh, you have a podcast and you put out content every Monday. That's crazy. And I'm like, yes. And we also have 2 other platforms, Instagram and TikTok, that we constantly have to be putting, again, content out there and also monitoring those accounts. And we also have to, and Kelsey does a much better job of this than I do, but like liking other people's posts and commenting on other people's posts, because that also helps.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of time. And so I think thinking about heading into next year, how we balance all of that and fall into routines and schedules that work for us, because this is not our full-time job.
But it is a full-time job.
But it is a full-time job. And
because also if you think about all of the reading we're doing, all of the preparing we're doing for the podcast, and then we're recording the hours we're recording, and then the social media, like all of it is basically everything I do outside of my job.
Yep. Yeah. And again, like we have 2 Sundays every month that are like half of the day,
3-4 hours,
is like dedicated to podcasting and recording, so it's definitely a lot. I don't know if we were both fully aware how much time it was going to take when we started.
Yeah.
And, I don't know that we ever talked about doing like bi-monthly versus, weekly episodes.
I know we haven't.
We just, right out the gate, we were like every week, which is a bit wild because a lot of podcasts don't do that. They're not weekly podcasts for that reason.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that we're able to put out, so much content, and it's also something we're passionate about.
In different times of our lives, we'll probably switch to something like that. You know,
absolutely.
Like if I have
kids,
children, like I definitely see us like, whew, that's going to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
So things like that are good to keep in mind. But we did the thing, and I am grateful, Amanda. I don't think we've ever said this to each other, but there have been a lot of ups and downs, and like navigating our dynamic in all of this, because basically we're like business partners, not making money.
It's like a nonprofit.
And we are running a nonprofit. And we get irritated with each other sometimes because of, what have you, like there's just things that happen and life happens. And so it's trying to be understanding with one another while also carrying our weight. Yeah. And I'm just grateful that we have done this together. Even though it has been hard, there are definitely rewarding moments, and I have enjoyed that.
Yeah, same. Like absolutely echo that. And I also love the fact that obviously we're doing this over the course of a year, and a lot happens in our personal lives too. And in spite of all of our own personal ups and downs, being able to step up when the other person couldn't do X, Y, or Z, right? Because they had something going on. Even if it was something as simple as like, oh, we're on vacation, right? Or I'm traveling in Tanzania or whatever. Yeah. So the fact that, we were both able to be like, you know what? I got this. Don't worry about it. Like if you're sick or whatever. And I think that also speaks to your earlier comment about this podcast like deepening our friendship, because it's not just that we're spending more time together, but we've had to navigate a lot of new situations together and figure out how we work together, because people often talk a lot about like, oh, like you could be really good friends with someone and then you move in together and you're like, oh, we are not great roommates, or we're not great business partners or whatever, or we don't travel well together. And I'm really proud that like we were able to shift our friendship into this new dynamic and still like make it work,
and maintain our friendship.
Yes, exactly. Because we do also try to be intentional about finding times to be together that are not podcast
related,
related, which can be tricky sometimes, but we've done it. So I'm just really grateful for this experience and proud of what we've created.
So proud.
And
yes.
just excited to see what comes next. I think we talked about this a little bit in our Q&A video on socials, but we did talk briefly there about things that we're hoping to do moving forward. And, the idea of having like guest authors or guest readers.
Oh yeah.
So listeners, if you're out there, maybe we'll have some guest readers on to join our conversations. Would be really amazing. But I think growing our engagement and our audience is like our primary focus at this point, because that will just free us up to do a lot more. Because then we would be able to have perhaps some revenue from this, which would give us additional opportunities and
to like get people to edit our show. Like that's a huge chunk of time that you spend. Oh my God. Yeah.
So we're at this point where we're ready for the next step to kind of level up.
On the cusp.
We're on the cusp.
It's gonna happen, Amanda.
I think so too. We're going to have faith, and we're going to have faith in all of you listeners that you're continuing to spread the good word about this podcast. And, as we wrap up this conversation, I think this is a perfect moment to, again, remind you all, plead with all of you to rate and review our podcast. I think sometimes because it is such a small thing, and it is such a quick thing, that people underestimate how vastly important it is for a podcast. And they're like, oh, does it really matter if I take 3 seconds and click the 5-star button, or like drop a 2-sentence review? And it truly does. Like it really, really, really does. And so if you're enjoying this content, if you want to see more of us and more good things to come, that is going to be the best way to help us.
I just saw, hold on. We have now 6 ratings on Apple and 1, 2, 3, 4 reviews. Okay. So, and there are people like we don't know. Okay, hold on. I know. July 23rd, this came up.
That was really recent.
Yeah. Love the books they cover and how they cover them. They bring a lot of great knowledge to each episode, and it's always great. Thank you. Let's go.
Who is that from? Does it have a handle?
Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
And then the next one, and the title was Love This Pod. The next one was really recent, August 11th.
Oh my God.
Yeah, from Sue's mom.
Okay. I don't know who that is. This is great.
The title is Lit It. Love this podcast. It is one of my top 3 related pods.
Thank you. Oh my God.
We love you guys. Oh my God.
You guys are going to make me cry over here on our anniversary episode. Like literally, we're not exaggerating when we say this is like so meaningful. And even if you're like, well, I want to write a review, but maybe it's not just necessarily all praise. Like you have some constructive feedback for us. We would gladly accept it, because we do want to grow and be better podcasters and produce content that better suits our listeners. Yeah. So when we say we're open to all the feedback, we truly mean it. Like that's amazing. And it sounds like, folks are listening. I also wonder if those folks also follow us on socials as well.
Socials.
Yeah.
Who knows, but how cool.
That's amazing. What an uplifting and positive note to end on.
Yes. I just randomly found that. Oh my God. That's so great. I'm totally posting this.
Yeah. And we haven't checked socials in a while because folks haven't been commenting. So it just turned into a really depressing exercise. So now we're going to check more often. And
maybe again, just once a week.
Maybe once a week. But thank you so much for both of those folks who wrote those reviews. We deeply
I'm shouting you out
on our socials.
Yes.
Which are Instagram, it's Lit Vibes Only _podcast. And then TikTok and YouTube at Lit Vibes Only Podcast. And as always, we don't want folks who are not on socials to feel left out. So you can also get in touch with us via our email, which is litvibesonlypodcast@gmail.com. So we are so excited to kick off this next year of podcasting, like we said earlier, to continue to grow and improve as podcasters and to continue this journey with all of you.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.